Yeah, hi. My name is Nick Struan. What do you think these people in the video, the kids, what are what are they doing? What is mom doing with them? Hey, have a guess. Yes, I'm sure you guess right, right? The mom is teaching, yeah? And the kids are learning online, right? Online. They're learning online. And my point here is that learning online is something that is really exciting, right? And it's not a dreary stuff that you sort of have to sit around, especially when you are working on something that you really want to, right? I know if you're learning something boring and whatever, then perhaps you rather watch the paint dry on the wall. But, when you are involved in something that's really exciting to you, then learning is an interesting fact. Yeah? And that's what I want to try to impress upon you today. I want to try to tell you about being independent, right? What is it that we need to be independent? We all want to be independent, right? Yeah? So we want to have, that's why most of us go to the gym and we work hard and we do stuff because we want to be able to feel good and have a great lifestyle, yeah? But I'm here to try to suggest to you that maybe there's more to life than just that. If we're trying to be independent, then of course we have health, wealth, and lifestyle to consider, right? So let's talk about health for a minute, right? Health, of course, is why we go to the gym. We eat the right things and we try to maintain a good mental attitude and all these sort of things, right? Now, this talk, by the way, is not for people who has no motivation to do anything. That's obvious, right? But I assume that you are a motivated person and you wanna sort of get ahead in life, and that's for the people I like to talk to, and that's what I'm doing this video for, because I'm wanting to attract like-minded people, yeah. So, your health is good and you're working towards goals there. You may not have your perfect health just yet, but hey, we're working towards things, right? Yeah. All right. Then the next thing is our lifestyle, right? What is our lifestyle? Well, our lifestyle is securely tied into our job, right? Our job, or what we can do with the income that we have, right? And if you have all the money in the world and you don't need anything, well, God bless you, and fantastic, go for it, right? But most of us, don't have that or didn't have it, right? So, to have a great lifestyle, we really do have to have something that's very important, right? Which is called money, right? And the money is not everything, no, but it's up there with oxygen, right? So we want to have a lifestyle where we have some cash, some ready cash, because that's, and we're talking about being capitalistic, like, yeah, I'm not capitalistic at all. It's all these other people. When I try to go and buy something, they tell me that they want money, right? God, right? They should give it to me for free, yeah? But no, all jokes apart, what we're talking about here is to have health, wealth, and lifestyle. We do have to have some money. And the basic, two ways that we can make money, of course, apart from maybe somebody suddenly dying giving it to us, which is in most cases not a reliable source, is to either work for someone or work for yourself. The problem is when you work for someone, you are helping them create their dreams. Yeah? And most people are only paid to a revolutionary level. That means that if you got paid any less, you would stop working for them, right? Yeah? Because they just want to get their things done for the least amount of money, and they're not really interested in your dreams and your lifestyle, right? You must understand that part of it, right? So as an interim period, like interim, that's wonderful. You can work for a certain time and whatever. But I see a lot of, especially young people who studies and go to university, and they're so excited, and I meet them in the gym and they say, oh yeah, I'm studying to be a doctor, I'm starting to be a lawyer, I'm starting to studying to be this, that, and the other, and and they work hard. This is what gets me, and that's why I thought I would make this video, because I went to the gym this morning, and I see people there, and they work so hard. Yeah, they really are into doing their body, and they're working, they're studying, they're swimming, they're doing all kinds of things, and then of course they're studying, and if you're like that, then I know how you feel, because you're feeling pretty good about yourself, right? And you have this future ahead of you where you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, and I'm going to make it, and I'm going to make a lot of money, and then my lifestyle, I got to find the right person, and then we're going to have a wonderful life, and I'm going to pull in about $100,000 a year, and then everything's going to be hunky-dory, and my life is so great. Yes, that's wonderful, and if that is going to be you, that's great. I just want to, maybe I don't want to sort of take away your understanding and your hopes and dreams. I want to give you more hopes and dreams in the right direction, because like the statistics says that most, professional people don't really like what they do. As much as 80% would rather be doing something else. Why? Don't they want to help people? If you're a doctor, don't you want to help people anymore? Yes, of course they do, but that's not how it is. It's not about health. It's like a conveyor belt of bodies, right? And they all come rushing into your office, and you prescribe things, one thing or the other, or you send them away, or you chop something up, or you operate, or you do something. It is not the life that you are thinking. Like, I remember having doctor friends back 20 years ago, and I was a builder, and as a builder, you also had a bit of time to yourself, and it was great, and we would spend time on a golf course. Yes. I learned to play golf, and we would hang out there, veterinarian, surgeons and lawyers and doctors and that. We would go to have a great, even in the daytime, right? Because life wasn't, that busy back then. But nowadays, like a doctor is scheduling maybe eight people per hour, and that's taking out for someone, who doesn't make it to the session, right? And also for people, because you've been to the doctors, right? They're always late, right? And you're getting annoyed about it, right? You're saying, oh God, like I come here on time, and but they're scheduling their time. You get maybe 5 or 10 minutes each person, and if somebody stuffs it up because they're really sick, oh my goodness, then that is carried on to the next and to the next, and you get to wait for 2 hours, right? But that's how you feel. How do you think the doctor feels every day? Don't you think he knows that it's annoying? Don't you think he's got a room full of people out there getting annoyed? Of course he does, right? And he's not like a cold-hearted person who's thinking now, oh yes, more money, more money. I mean, some people might be like that. I don't know. I haven't met many. Most professionals are nice people, and they want to do the right thing. But, life is not that easy, right? If you're, a construction worker, or you work hard somewhere, well, you are working hard. Yeah, I recently went to Cambodia for 6 weeks, and they work long hours, but they don't work so hard, right? They just hang around. They have to be there because that's, they start at 8 o'clock in the morning or even earlier, and then they're still there at 9 o'clock at night, yeah? So they don't work so hard. That's their payoff, right? So, but here in the Western world, we work really, really hard, yeah? As I said, I was a builder for many years, and 6 o'clock start to avoid the hot days, yeah? And then just work, carrying timbers and banging and hammering, and then all the problems that come along with it, the stress, or, like, I must admit, I never really enjoyed it very much. Though I got into it because I loved working with timber. I love the smell of timber, and I'm sure you do too. There's nothing as beautiful as coming into a timber house. You get all these smells, and it's so nice and whatever. But I found that in my industry, there was no time to do any of that stuff. It's all go, go, go. You know, people don't care when they buy a house whether you have a passion for, messing with beautiful smelling timbers. They just want the stuff done. They want the concrete floor. They want the kitchen. They want the house finished so they can move in, because they've just spent $300,000-$400,000 and they need to pay it off now. Yeah. But what I'm suggesting to you is that, being under those sorts of pressures is not a great lifestyle. Yeah. So what I want to talk to you about today is, some options, some opportunity to maybe have a different thinking about where you're going to be, right? Like I have been trying to achieve success for 30 or more years, right? Only to find that my ladder of success was leaning up against the wrong wall. Yeah. And I don't want you to go through the same thing. I don't want you to have your children go through the same thing. So I'm very passionate about the subject here, because I looked this morning at the gym, as I said, and I thought to myself, these people, they really deserve better. You deserve better. You don't deserve this life of hardship. Stuart Wilde, one of my mentors, said life wasn't supposed to be a struggle, and, he made a little bit of a comparison to a lion just walking down the street, like in the jungle or in the African savannah there, he doesn't stress out about it, he just walks down slowly, and then, there's a bit of a prey there, and a little bit of running, maybe a little bit of effort, and then jump, and then he's fed, and then he lies over, and he has a little sleep, right? That's sort of the life that we're supposed to have, right? You're supposed to wake up naturally in the morning, not to an alarm clock. You're supposed to wake up naturally in the morning when your eyes actually want to open. Yeah. And I'm sure you can relate to that, right? So, and then, you get up, and then, you relax yourself, and you maybe have a cup of coffee on the veranda, right? Overlooking the pool, overlooking the ocean. Yeah. Maybe it's a little bit of a tropical setting. And then, like you sit there and you just wake up. Right? If you have a partner or family, I mean, maybe you want, you sit there and they come out and they join you, and you just sit there and have a nice relaxing time together, talking about, what you're going to do during the day, because you have the time to do whatever you want to do. Yeah? I mean, that's a different type of thinking, isn't it? But you're saying, oh, yeah, but, it all takes a lot of money, and I don't have any money. If I got a dollar every time told me this, that they don't have any money, well, I would be a multimillionaire, right? That's just an excuse. That's just out of fear. And I want you to just consider your attitude here, right? Because everybody, including you, can learn something different, can learn a new skill. I don't care what it is. In Cambodia, people are saying to me, I haven't got any money. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I said, well, let me teach you a skill, and then you can use that skill. But, of course, the skill has to be something that people are prepared to pay money for, right? But there's so many opportunities, especially online these days, for you to make extra money, yeah? But it's, of course, a question whether you want to or not. But anyway, I'm going to continually assume that you are interested in actually attracting a good lifestyle and be independent, to have a life, to actually do it on your own terms, yes, so to speak. So I'm going to suggest to you that you can take advantage of the terminology called the new rich, right? The new rich, right? What is the new rich? Well, the new rich are coming out of, it's people like you and me who comes out of the actual opportunities available now online to take advantage of the opportunities, as I said, in regards to, being able to make a successful income online. Okay, what do we need for that? What do we need for that? Well, we need to have a setup, right? We need to have some sort of a presence on the internet, some sort of a business on the online, right? Now, I'm going to suggest to you that, it used to be a bit of a struggle and a bit of expensive thing to actually do that, but no longer, right? The information age has moved so fast and so furious that you can set up your own business in 10 minutes, right? And you can be online ready to make money, by the end of the day, right? As simple as that. Really, just simply push here, copy and paste and done, and you're finished, okay? So let's just assume that. That you have either had a passion of something that you want to do. Maybe you're into jewelry, maybe you're into childcare, maybe you're into, guitar lessons or planning or wedding planning, there's a multitude of niches, they call them, right? That you can get involved in. If you've been an engineer for 30 years, well, you have a lot of knowledge that could be really, really packed into a nice, knowledgeable book about engineering. That new guys and new girls who's coming on the market and wants to do that, they can pick up and they can save them maybe years of study, right? So everything has a value these days, and especially experience and skills, right? Now, let's assume that you don't have anything. Let's just say that. I hear that too. Oh, I don't know anything. It doesn't matter, right? Because there's such a wonderful thing that people have, both products and services that they are prepared to pay you for, right? Yeah? If you recommend them to someone, and that's really what I'm talking to you about, it's connecting two people or two businesses or organizations, right, with you in the middle, yeah? And that is so very simple. I always give this analogy about the farmer, right? Well, at the moment it's very appropriate because I am actually living on an organic farm. So, but here on the organic farm we do zucchini, right? They plant zucchini and they take it to the market every day, yeah. And they have about, I think, 10,000 plants or something similar to that, right? So, what's going to happen with these zucchinis? They're going to have to be sold, right? They cannot sit there on the plant and just stay there. They have to be sold. Somebody has to sell them. Somebody has to buy them, right? Yeah? So how do we do this? Well, I know that they are there and they need to be sold, right? So maybe the owner said to me, oh, look, I really, really need to sell them, right? I really need to sell them. Do you know anyone? It's a natural thing. You probably hear it from other people or from your friends, right? Do you know anyone? And I'm thinking, well, not really. No, I don't know anyone who wants to buy zucchinis, right? But lo and behold, in a week's time or something, I'm out there in the gym and I'm sitting talking with someone and they say, God, I have a vegetable shop in town and I really, really need to find some more zucchinis, all right? Now, what are the chances here? Do you think that this is difficult? Could you do that? If somebody said, I really, really need to get the stuff, and you knew someone who had the stuff, could you say, oh, look, here's my business, here's the man's business card or his number, right? How about you give him a ring? And this happens all the time. That happens all the time, yeah? So anyway, there's a transaction happening there, and two people have what they call a win-win, right? They both get happy. Let's just assume they get together and they actually make a trade. Would it be so far-fetched to think that they will be grateful for you to put them together? Not really, right? So what if they say, oh, look, hey, I'm going to send you, $20 a month for that, right? Or $30 a month, right? Yeah? The other guy's going to say, look, I'm so happy now, how about if you have some more friends, right? Or if you meet some other ones and they have some vegetables, right? Maybe somebody who's got plums or maybe somebody's got carrots or whatever, right? Look, if you do that, I'll give you another couple of $100, right? Yeah? Yeah? So what you have, set up there for yourself is actually a passive and an income, right? Because the guy who's paying you, $20 a month, right, is a passive income that comes in whether you do anything or not, because the transactions are already happening, right? Yeah. And the other and the other income is just an absolute, workable income, like you do if you go and do a job. You get paid per hour or whatever it might be. Here you actually just get paid for introducing two parties to each other, right? It's a simple thing, yeah? Now, if you think it's so foreign and nobody's doing it, you would be wrong, of course, right? Because let's take Aldi. Aldi owns no products whatsoever, right? I'm sure you know Aldi supermarkets, yeah? They are the middleman for a lot of farmers and a lot of manufacturers or whatever, and they just plunk it all on the floor, and then they invite you and I to come and purchase it, right? What about Uber? Yeah, Uber is taking over the world by storm, as an alternative taxi service, right? Uber owns no cars whatsoever. They don't have any taxis. They just connect two people or two parties together, right? Exactly the same. And there's many companies. I could give you a list of that. I'm sure you can think of other companies too that has the same type of setup. And that's really what I'm suggesting to you. It's not difficult, and it's just like the kits you saw on the video there. It is fun to do, yeah? Once you know how to do it, you set your business up very quickly, and you then, get yourself started. Of course, don't twist, my words here. There's work involved, okay? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, okay? This is something that is it's going to be a successful online business for you. And, the results that I'm going to tell you is not typical, right? Some people, they do a little and some people do a lot, right? But that's got nothing to do with the opportunity. That's got something to do with how passionate you are about, your dreams and your goals, and how fast that you really want them. You never ever fail, because you only fail if you totally give up and stop and do nothing, right? If you keep learning, however difficult it is, you will eventually get there, right? You understand? Yeah? I mean, that goes for anything. If you want to be a doctor, right, and you think, oh, I cannot be a doctor, of course you can become a doctor, right? It may take you 10 years to learn it, but, you can become a doctor, right? Yeah? So it's just a matter of learning a skill, just like I told the people in Cambodia, yeah? Learn a skill, I used to be an English teacher. In fact, I still teach somewhat online in China. And exactly the same there. The Chinese people are wonderful people, but they cannot speak very well. And the reason for that is that they don't get a lot of opportunity to actually practice the language, right? But if they do, their whole world would open up, because then they will be able to talk to the foreigners, yeah? And that is in such demand in many factories worldwide, in China particularly, because China is going into other parts of the world, but that's a different story altogether. But let's just stick to the subject here, and let me impress on you that if you are wanting to be independent, there is no better way of being independent than to have a passive income, an income that comes in whether you are working or not, whether you are sleeping or not, or whether you are, holidaying in the Caribbean, right? Yeah? Imagine having a business that when you wake up in the morning and check your computer, you made 3,000 or 5,000 overnight, right? I mean, what would you do with that, right? How would your thinking be? Oh, I'm good. All right, let me get off to work, right? How would you feel when you're going to work? How do you feel when you go on the freeway and you sit there or on the train or whatever, how you get to work, right? How do you think you would be thinking? Oh, I made $2,000 while I was sleeping. Okay, fair enough. I think the excitement would be a little bit more than that, don't you? Okay. So anyway, I'll have to talk to you for a long time about this stuff here, but I hope I've given you a little bit of a reason to think, if nothing else, right? Because at the end of the day, whether you decide to do something or learn something, it's really, really up to you. I would love to be a part of helping you, and what I suggest that you do in the first instance is have a look at the link that I'm going to put in below the video here. Click on that, and my mentor, Stuart Ross, is going to outline to you what the opportunity that is there. But as I said, it's a very simple opportunity, and anybody can do it. You can have fun on it, doing it just the way the kids was on the video. That's certainly been my experience. And the people who is helping me, is most of them are 25 or more years of age. So it's got nothing to do with whether you're old or young or whatever. You can do this, and I encourage you to check out this video series, and it will give you a good idea about what we're talking about. And then if you have any additional questions, I'm going to send you an email or two too. Just make sure that it's whitelisted so it doesn't end up in the spam folder if you want to receive them. And you can email me, you can ring me, you can whatever you need if you have any additional questions. But so this is Nick Struan from Perth, Western Australia, saying I really hope that you get your eyes open to this opportunity, and if you do, I will see you again sometime. Have a good time. Bye for now.